Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Stefanie Drysdale's weekly cybersecurity recap number 63 for Friday, March 19th, 2021. Here she is, the first day of spring herself, Ms. Stefanie Drysdale. Welcome.
Hi, Chuck. How are you?
Good. It is almost the first day of spring. We're getting there. Can you believe it? I mean, this year's flying by. It's really remarkable.
Yeah, it is. It's been it's like gotten off to a really breakneck start, but with vaccines rolling out and everything, hopefully we'll be able to actually enjoy spring this year.
Well, I hope so. Tell us what's going on. I've seen your postings this week, and I was very intrigued by some of them. So let's give us the recap.
Perfect. So in no way, this was a crazy, crazy busy week for cool new stuff. So in no way can I cover all of it. So I'll just pop into some of the highlights of things that people seem to really take a huge interest in. So the Chicago Tribune shared an article called Unemployment Fraud, Be Alert to the Signs and Know What to Do if it happens to you. So a lot of this going on right now. I'm hearing a lot of executives that are falling prey to this. An estimated 63 billion was paid out improperly through fraud or errors just since March of last year. So utilizing the PII from prior data breaches, criminals were able to make fraudulent claims through identity theft. So for context, about 550 billion was paid out in unemployment claims last year, compared to an average of 32 billion over the last 5 years. So to know if you're affected, just keep an eye on your mail for any benefits related paperwork or call from your employer if you attempt to make a legitimate claim and happen to be denied. You may also receive a 1099-G form for your taxes and receive notice from the IRS that you've neglected to include income from claims that you didn't initiate or receive. So if you've been affected, just reach out to the three main credit bureaus to freeze your credit and enable those fraud alerts, which I recommend to everyone to do anyway. Lots of good advice, to make sure you check out that Chicago Tribune article. Lots of talk this week on several different sources about SMS messaging or text message interception and insecurity. So I know we recommend multi-factor authentication for everyone, and while it is still better than nothing, it is not as secure as having an authenticator or a physical security key. So make sure that for your most sensitive accounts that you're staying as secure as possible, and looking out for any kind of strange or anomalous behavior with any of your devices. American Financial Review shared poor cyber due diligence can carry a costly bite. We talk a lot about reputational due diligence and beneficial ownership and conflicts of interest in M&A, but perhaps the less talked about is cyber due diligence and utilizing the same degree of awareness in assessing the value and risk of an acquisition or in a joint venture. So the best time to know about breaches or vulnerabilities is not after the ink is dry, but before you commit to the deal or the price. So just ask Marriott after it cost them a fine of about 33 million for a breach that happened 2 years before they even made the acquisition. So be sure to reach out if you have questions on this or need any additional support. ZDNet shared an article this week called Largest Ransomware Demand Now Stands at 30 Million as Crooks Get Bolder. This was double the previous highest demand of 15 million. But as more and more companies are affected, ransomware becomes an even more lucrative business model. Phishing scams remain a common means of infiltration to start the ransomware scams. So phishing awareness is vital in attempting to avoid the situation, as well as really strong passwords and multi-factor authentication, password managers, and regular offline backups. The Verge this week wrote an article called California Bans Dark Patterns That Trick Users into Giving Away Their Personal Data. CCPA, or the California Consumer Protection Act, is stepping up the game, now more clearly defining expectations that companies need to be very, very clear in telling consumers what data that they're collecting and how to opt out. Fines are steep, so if your cyber compliance isn't keeping up with the changes, please do reach out before those fines start adding up. And just a heads up, Martinell reminded us that tomorrow, Saturday, March 20th, there will be global anti-vaxxing protests anticipated, promoted by QAnon-linked groups. This could potentially impact travel or the safety of your principal, So be mindful or reach out to Martin if you need additional protection and safe travels. So Ashley Jones shared FBI's 2020 Internet Crime Report. Lots of really interesting statistics and data that hopefully can help you plan ahead for your 2021 priorities, as well as offer resources to you. So be sure you get a hold of that one. Lots going on this past week, so be sure to click on my activity and see the important shares from my network, as well as some job openings. I know many of you are looking for your next adventure, and hopefully you'll see something there that jumps out at you. Otherwise, that's all I have for you this week. I hope everyone is well, staying warm, and jumping into spring. So enjoy your week, and I'll see you next Friday.